Kia ora, hello, my name's Glenn Vickery and welcome to my YouTube channel Kiwi Bushcraft and Survival. And today, in fact this morning, it's about 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to go through a loadout of my secondary webbing, okay? The webbing that I wear around my waist, okay? It's a load bearing webbing, so a lot of the load is taken by the shoulders, by the shoulder straps here, okay, and but the rest of the webbing fits around the waist area. And I've had a few people that have been asking about if I do a loadout of my gear to help others out there. So let's get into it. I'll just bring the camera down a little, and so that'll help to thing the webbing. Come out a bit, I think. Okay. Alright, let's have a look. Okay, where do we start? Let's start off with, I don't know, let's go from left to right, eh? Okay, so on the left hand side, I have the buckle. I have quite a solid metal buckle. And what else we got here? And the strap itself from the right hand side of the webbing, as I look at it, as I'm wearing it, this part here goes through here, okay, like so, and then it feeds back through on itself, like so, and she locks up like that. Okay, so that's how I have my front buckle. I used to have a plastic one on here, just a plastic clip one, and you know, I used one of those for years and I never had any problems at all. But plastic does break, you know, a lot easier, even though mine never did. And plastic also burns, okay? So metal, you know, what I mean by burns is it mounts a lot easier. So metal's a lot better. So I swapped this one out, I think it was this year or last year, I can't remember. I think it might have been this year sometime. But yeah, this here's a lot better, a lot more solid. Anyway, so that's the buckle. Then around the inside of my webbing, I have a comforter belt. Okay, quite an old one. I probably need to upgrade it, but it does its job. It's there for comfort, and basically what it does is it goes on the inside of the belt, and it protects me from all these clips, okay, Alice clips, alright, and I prefer this style of belt where it's just a comforter belt. It just slips around the actual, it's got like parts that go over the belt, and the actual web belt here just slips through. So the comforter belt doesn't actually take any weight like a lot of the new ones I see out there. They've got like molly on the sides, on this side of the comforter belt, and when we're talking webbing that's carrying a lot of weight or load bearing, I don't think that molly will probably stand up to the test of time. I think it will start to tear if you're wearing a lot of weight, carrying a lot of ammunition, and a lot of gear. The molly will start to tear. Whereas this here, you've got a solid web belt here, okay, and this takes all the weight with the suspenders, and the suspenders are wrapped around this main web belt, which is just solid, okay. These are not gonna break off a solid web belt. So this is a solid load bearing webbing. It's not one of those piddly little things that are attached to like molly that'll fall apart when you're carrying a lot of weight. I mean, those other belts are good for, you know, if you're not carrying much weight. Anyway, let's move on. This one here, I used to carry my compass in here, but I don't anymore, and so now it's just got nothing in it. Alright, it's just a pouch. So I could pretty much throw in whatever I wanted into there. This pouch here, it's an old M16 pouch. I love these pouches. They're solid. I used to carry 3 magazines, 30 round magazines in here. And same with this one here. I'd carry 3 magazines in here and 3 magazines in here. Really like these pouches because you can just fast clip, boom, just like the Aussies have got. The Americans use these all the time. I don't know why they ever stopped using these. They're so good, and I don't know why a lot of other militaries around the world don't take up this type of system. Very good, solid clipping. I've had these for years, and they just don't break. They're just a really good plastic. Anyway, what I have these for is ammo. Okay, whatever ammo you want to put in there. Okay, whatever ammo you're running, just chuck it into here and chuck it into here. You can have it set up in other boxes already. All right, and just file them in. Put them in however you want. Okay, so plenty of ammo. If you don't need pouches for that much ammo, then just use one, you know, or carry. I'm not sure how others do it, but that's how I do it. And then underneath here, I have a toggle rope. Okay, and to be honest, I don't even know how long the toggle rope is, but I find that I'll pull it off. I used to carry 2 toggle ropes, but I've only got 1 now. I would like to have another one, and it's just a piece of rope, okay, with 2 loops on the end. Hopefully you can see those. All right, 2 loops on the end there, and I used to loop one of these around another toggle rope, and I'd use those for pulling anything that I thought was booby trapped, bodies, just anything. And I'd tie this to it and pull it, roll it, whatever, and you know, wait 4 or 5 seconds, and if it didn't go boom, chances are it was relatively safe. So, but this here is really good. You can use it for anything. I used to also use it sometimes for tying up prisoners of war and stuff like that. So, bit of rope, very handy to have just when you need it. Okay, and that just tucks underneath one of my ammo pouches. Moving around to one of my larger pouches if I'm wearing the webbing on my left hand side. On the top I have a first aid pouch. Okay, that's for gunshots. Okay, so if you get shot or something like that or whatever, you can use that. And obviously the plastic here is for like sucking chest wounds and stuff like that, but I'm not going to go into that. That's what that's for. Basically, this pouch is an old SLR, no, Steyr pouch, and I find them very good. I carry Cups Canteen in here, and this Cups Canteen also has a stove as well. Okay, just pull that off it there. So there's the stove, there's Cups Canteen, and I like the L-shaped Cups Canteens. I just find them a lot better to cook with and to use and things like that. Down there, and then inside here I have a water bottle, and I like to use the wide mouth water bottles, and I've noticed these days the water bottles that are coming out are getting the mouth of the water bottles getting wider and wider, and I've always liked the wider water bottles because they're easier to fill up and they're easier to empty out, when you need to have a drink and things like that. So yeah, I personally would like to go for the there's the stainless steel one by Pathfinder, stainless steel bottle, and also stainless steel Cups Canteen. I'd like to go for have at least a couple of those, but they don't sell them over here in New Zealand, which is a bit of a shame. So I just haven't got any yet. I also, on my pouch here, you can see just this black part here, that's a stretchy part. What I did was, the Cups Canteen didn't really fit into the pouch very well, so years ago I just put a bit of stretchy material there just to widen the mouth up just a tad, so that I could fit the bottle in no problem, and then the Cups Canteen would fit in as well. Alright, and that just fits in like that. Oh, the reason why I have these in upside down, okay, I used to fit them in like that, okay, like everybody else does. But I used to find that inside the Cups Canteen would get all dirty, get all dirt and grass and twigs and all that kind of crap in your Cups Canteen. And whenever you pulled it out to cook in, or boiled water in, or have a brew or whatever, it would always be dirty. You'd always have to keep cleaning it out. So what I do now, or what I've always done, is for years now, is I flip the Cups Canteen upside down over the top, and it fits on just the same. Okay, it takes up no less extra space, and that's how I do it now. Well, I've always done it, and it works awesome. On the back of my pouch, I have another first aid bandage. And moving along to the rear of the webbing, I have, I'll just pause it there because I just need to start up my computer and burn something else. Just give me a second. Okay, welcome back. Sorry about that. I was just, my PC had, my laptop had restarted on me, and I had something that I was like cutting down a bit. Anyway, let's carry on. So where did we get up to? I think we got up to, we were just getting up to these large pouches at the back here. Okay, so this pouch at the top, this one here, what I carry in here, or what I have in here at the moment, is I have a sandbag in here, okay, and the sandbag I use for, I make a little backpack out of it. Okay, and I use my toggle rope that I just showed you earlier. I use that and to make a backpack if I need it. And I also carry in here some 550 paracord, and sometimes when I don't need these in here, or at least the paracord anyway, or sometimes even the sack, I'll put my wet weather jacket into this backpack here, the back bag. And that's normally if I'm going out for quite some time away from my pack, okay, and the weather's not looking too good. So yeah, so sometimes I have basically I put my wet weather jacket in here, all right. And the wet weather jacket that you should have, preferably, is a some form of Gore-Tex, okay, or basically fully waterproof, fully breathable, is the type of rain jacket you want to be taking out with you. Anything less than that, you want to be really, just give me a second. Sounds like someone's at my door. I don't know, a bit wet. Been hearing noises tonight outside. Yeah, so you want a wet weather jacket that's fully breathable and fully waterproof. And for out in the bush, that's, in my opinion, it's probably a must. Well, not probably a must, it is a must. You want, if you're going to spend good money on something, spend good money on a raincoat, okay, a wet weather jacket. An absolute must have, right? That is one piece of equipment you want to spend good money on. Okay, the next pouch I have under here is my tools pouch, and inside of that I have some toilet paper. Don't leave home without it. And I have my folding saw, alright, Laplander, folding saw, good saw. You want a good saw to be able to cut firewood with if you need it, and just cut things down when you need to, okay. And I always try to chuck on a lanyard whenever I can with anything, so that helps to prevent losing it and it helps with your grip. The other thing I use quite often is a pair of secateurs, okay. For those that don't know what secateurs is, I'd say most people would know, but I'll show you anyway. Okay, so a pair of secateurs, and you want to keep these well oiled, okay. Now these are priceless in the bush. You know, cutting down, you won't cut down branches with these, but when you're setting up your living area or your sleeping area or your base camp or whatever you want to call it, you're going to have little twigs and stuff like that that are going to get in your way, okay, and you just cut them. So we try not to cut things, okay, because one, if it's unnecessary, it's unnecessary, and two, it can leave a lot of sign. So in a tactical sense, everything you do is going to leave sign to show that you were there and what you were doing and blah blah blah. So try not to be cutting things if you don't need to, but if you do need to, these are a good piece of equipment that you want to have on you. It's very quick and easy to cut with these. Okay, you're not using much energy, expending much energy when you're doing it. Okay, I don't even know why I have rubber bands on this. It's silly, but oh well. Okay, so that's what I have there, pair of secateurs, and I also carry some tape. Okay, can't even remember what you call it, gorilla tape, okay, or whatever. Excellent if your tent gets a rip in it, and just mainly for your tent, your hutchie or something like that, your basher, your tarp, whatever you want to call it. This stuff here will help to prevent it from continuing to rip, and you don't want your shelter that you take out with you to be ripped. Yes, you can make your own shelter, but if you take shelter with you, you're conserving a hell of a lot of energy, where you can just whack up a quick basher, or as we call it in Kiwi land, hutchie. You save yourself a lot of time and energy. But this stuff here is good if you rip it or rip something. And it doesn't weigh much, so well worth having on you. I think this is my yeah, it is, it's my nails. So I take 3 nails with me all the time, and these 3 nails can be used for making a mock stove. Okay, so I'd basically bang the 3 nails in the ground there like that, and put my Cups canteen on top to cook with if for some reason I lost my stove. Okay, the other thing I have these for is that I can use them for a spear. Okay, so I can make a spear out of them, like so, a 3-pronged, if you can see that, a 3-pronged spear. Okay, for anything, eeling, anything. Alright, fishing, as in spear fishing, and so on. Okay, so 3 decent long nails are really good. Alright, you can also use it for anything else like traps and stuff like that if you need to, but I like keeping them on me. Alright, so mainly for a spear, because this is a way of gathering food, but you can use them for other bits and pieces. So in my opinion, well worth having in your kit. They don't take up much space, and they don't take up much weight, and so they're worth their weight in gold. All you need is a decent solid branch or stick or something like that, and you make yourself a spear. Okay, in here is my fire piston. Okay, and for those of you that don't know what a fire piston is, it's well worth learning about. Okay, so this one here, I also have a fire steel in it, a little fire steel as well. Okay, and oh, that's tight. Okay, that's my main end of the valve there. What am I missing? It's been a while since I've actually used this. I'll have to re-look that up. Anyway, it's been a while since I've used that. I can't remember how to frickin' open the bloody thing up, which is no good. This here is a last resort. Okay, using it's a fire piston, and it can create fire through air compression, okay, or compression of air. And the char cloth here basically is really easy to start up, okay. But for the life of me, I can't remember how to open this frickin' thing up. So I'm gonna have to suss that out later, because yeah, that's no good. Anyway, let's move on. And if you do have to use this, you've gotten down to the point where you don't have a lighter anymore, you don't have a flint and steel, or you know, you don't have any magnesium blocks or anything else. You've pretty much run out of options for starting a fire to a certain degree. Alright, and this here as a fire piston is a way of doing that. So anyway, it's, yeah, I need to revisit that one. In here is I have a spare lighter in here, and this is my sewing oil. So for those of you that have seen me doing the sewing oil on my YouTube site, this is it here. Alright, so I also have that in the back there. And then right at the bottom, which I don't really need, is just some extra cordage. Okay, you can never have too much, especially if you're required to do shelter building or anything else along those lines. And that's all I have in that pouch. In my next pouch, I'll just throw some of this back into here just to get it out of the way. Leave that other stuff there for now. In the other pouch over here, I have my barrel cleaner. I can't even remember what they call these. It's a like a bore cleaner. Okay, so this is a 12 gauge shotgun, and this one here is for 308 7.62 NATO, or 30 caliber. Alright, and they're just an easy way of cleaning your barrel. Okay, it saves bringing out rods and everything else. They're lightweight, they're quick and easy, and they do the job. And below that I have my cleaning kit. Alright, for basically rifle cleaning kit, shotgun cleaning kit, and extra rubber bands. Love my rubber bands. Okay, cleaning rag, and just other bits and pieces in here. Okay, some pull throughs and toothbrush and stilo pad and blah blah blah. Okay, so not much, just your average little bits and pieces for help to keep your weapon clean. And obviously I keep my oil on my chest webbing, okay, because that's not just for the weapons. Okay, that's also for knives and stuff like that. So I don't like to have to keep going in here for oil. I like to have it on my chest webbing, so it's handy all the time. Okay, so that's cleaning kit. Further down, I have survival blanket. Alright, so I'll read it out. I got some of the things on here, but this is basically my first aid kit. Okay, first aid emergency kit or survival kit. Okay, so survival blanket, needles and thread. This was last packed on the, I write the date here, the 13th of the 1st 16. Paracetamol, lip balm, plasters, antihistamine, antiseptic, diarrhea pills, and codeine. Okay, so some fairly strong painkiller. And the only other thing that I have that I probably need to put in here is, it's like a, basically if you manage to get like a antibiotic cream to go in, if you manage to get an antibiotic cream from the doctors, slap that in there. Antibiotic cream is probably one of the best things that you should have in your first aid kit. So I've got other things in there, but those are just some of the basic things. And it's not a bad idea to write down what you have. The survival blanket is a really good thing to have. I'd actually like to get probably another one to have in there as well. And in my other little metal tin box here is a survival kit, and so you'll just find basic things in here like I don't know, fish hooks and blah blah blah, you know, I don't know, magnifying glass and whatever else. I'll have a quick look. Normally you don't really need to be opening this up until you're in a survival situation. So, and when you do, you're like, thank goodness you put those things in there. Okay, what have we got? Okay, so I've got some cotton wool, and the cotton wool has been had Vaseline put around it, on it. So that's for a fire starter. Okay, So worst case scenario and survival situation, you know, you can start those up nice and easy. What else we got in here? I've got a little candle. I've got a little multi-tool in here. A mini compass, or button compass as some people call it. I have a little knife and some jute cord for fire starting as well. It looks like I've got some char cloth here, magnifying glass down in there, and I've got some, looks like some fishing line, and no doubt there'll be some hooks and blah 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 in there as well. So just a few really basic things to be able to start. Navigation, compass and stuff. Okay, so some really small, you want really tiny small items in there, and some of those things are going to be life-saving. Alright, so for example, like I just found out tonight that, or this morning, that my compass had got a bubble in it on my it's in my chest webbing. If worst case scenario, if that was completely stuffed, which I doubt it is completely stuffed, it'll still work, should still work fine. But I could always go to that other compass, alright? And then on top of that, I have another compass on my watch anyway. Okay, so this has got a digital compass on the watch, solar powered, and I might actually do a review on that one day on my watch. Okay, so yeah, survival kit. What else? Survival kit. First aid kit, emergency first aid kit. Weapon cleaning kit, and bore pull-throughs. Okay, I'll just leave that there for now. Alright, now on the next pouch along, pretty straightforward. It's just like my last one. Oh, it's like the other one over here. I have another cups canteen. Another cups canteen. And another water bottle. Okay, so nothing fancy about that. Why do I have two water bottles? I don't know. I've just always carried two water bottles because water's so important. And why do I have two cups canteens? Normally one's for cooking food in, and while I'm eating that, I'm cooking a hot coffee or Milo or whatever in the other one. Okay. Also, I can eat from one, drink from the other, wash the first one out, and heat some water up and have a shave out of it, clean it out, done deal. Okay, so I basically do one then the other and so on. Yeah, and I suppose the other thing is where most people are thinking, you know, two is one and one is none. Alright, but can't go wrong, two. Always use two. Always work for me. The other thing I have on the side of this one here is my eating spoon, or wooden spoon. And again, something else I wouldn't leave home without is wooden spoon. Nice and lightweight. Worst case scenario, if I needed some to shave some of this off for to make a fire, if it was really wet or whatever, I'd use this if I needed to. It'd be a last resort using my spoon, but yeah, optional. Again, on each of these pouches here, first aid bandage, 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 okay, And then over here, another first aid bandage with these here were used for mines. Okay, I'd mark mines with these sort of things here, but now they can be used for marking traps. Okay, and anything else I needed to mark something with, mainly for night marking. Okay, so they're easily seen at night. Bit of white tape. The reason why I have so many first aid pouches, first aid bandages, is if you get shot, one's just not going to do the job. Okay, especially if the bullet goes in one side and comes out the other. One bandage is not going to do it, and that's only if you get one shot with one bullet. Okay, if you get shot with multiple bullets, you're going to need multiple bandages, and obviously possibly a tourniquet or two. So that is why I have so many first aid bandages. All right, on me all the time, can't go wrong. Moving on around the webbing to the side here, and I have my main knife. Okay, main battle knife, and this one here is a SOG. Okay, most people have probably heard of the SOG Seal or SOG Seal Pup. This one is the SOG, I can't even remember the name of it. Some people call it the tank. Okay, I call it the tank too sometimes. Let me have a look. Yeah, it doesn't even have the name on it. But this is like a survival knife. Okay, it's a drop point. The blade is it's a full tang knife, and the blade goes right through, so there's no serrations. It's just solid. Okay, it's I can't even remember the metal on it. It's not too bad a metal, not one of the greatest, but it's okay. And but it's a beast, all right. And actually, that might be the name they give for it, the beast or the tank, something like that. I'll just have a quick look. Hang on, online here. Give me a second. But it's a good, solid, sharp knife, and I like it. It'll probably take a while to load up. Anyway, so let's put that away. Very sharp. Got to be really careful with this. When I got it, it wasn't, I mean, it was sharp, but not sharp. It's sharp now. Got to be really careful. And in here, I used to have another magnesium block, but I took that out because I've already got one, and it's just no sense carrying an extra one. Although I used to carry the extra one in the fact that, you know, if you lose your first one, magnesium's so important to out in the wet bush, you know. And let's move on to my last M16 pouch. Okay, and this is the last pouch of my webbing, and I have what have we got? The camouflage with, as you guessed, extra rubber bands. And then in here I carry a yo-yo, alright, with fishing line and hooks, and a couple of fishing lines and a couple of hooks with one yo-yo, and also some wire. okay, for just making traps. And again, here's my other yo-yo. Got one more yo-yo in here. I used to carry 2 in each one, but it's only 1 now. And more wire for making snares and that. Now yo-yos, for those that, I'll just go and grab one. So the yo-yos, for those that haven't seen them, this is a yo-yo, okay, and it's basically a fishing trapping device, okay, mostly used for fishing. And it basically you wind out the cordage. Well, firstly you'd put some fishing line, attach a fishing line and hook to the yo-yo here, right, and put some bait on the hook. You'd wind it out so that the hook is in the water, okay. You'd set the trap like so, okay. All of this other part up here, with the spring here, with the cordage here, would be wrapped around a tree trunk or whatever you want. And what happens is the fish would pull on the bait here, and this, when they pull on the bait, it pulls this and it sets this trap off. And then as the fish keeps pulling out, it tires the fish out, and it gets tired and tighter, and keeps pulling the fish in until eventually the fish gives up, dies, okay, and you've caught yourself a fish or an eel or whatever. And from there you come along and you collect it and you, well, eat it, okay. So that's what it does, yo-yo. There's plenty of videos online with them. So that's what they look like. Okay, spin it around. Okay, that's what they look like. There's a couple of different versions of it. I've probably got about, I think I've got about 4 of them all up. And I carry 2 on my webbing at all times. Okay, so yeah, enough said about those. And then just move over to here. I don't have anything else in that pouch. And then I carry another piece of black tape, right, insulation tape. And if that, I think that's it. That's all that I carry. Again, I suppose for some people that might be too much, but as I said, when I prepare for the long haul, so yeah, that's what I do. You know, it's not just going out for a day's hunt or whatever. This is if you're going out, you know, for a day or a week or, you know, a month or a year or whatever. Okay, so yeah. So that's my my second line of webbing. Obviously my first line is my chest webbing, which I've already done a video on, and the second line is the other way. So just let me have a look. I'll just look up SOG survival knife and see what comes up. Okay. Okay, that's it. SOG Force. So the knife here is a SOG Force. Okay. So if anyone's interested in that, SOG Force. Myself personally, it's a good knife, but I actually want to get something a little better. Probably one of the ones from Brothers of Bushcraft. Or there's another one, I can't even remember the name of it right now. But the other one that I want is not in the country yet. And it's, yeah, I can't even remember the name of it offhand. But Brothers of Bushcraft knife is quite nice. Very expensive, but, you know, quite nice. And then the other one that I want, I can't remember. I wish I'd written it down. But anyway, doesn't matter. Good knife. What you need is something that's going to last you, and this will last a lifetime. In fact, it'll last probably 10 lifetimes easily, as long as it's looked after. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. For those that you know, are keen on learning more, I hope I've shared some of my knowledge to help you out, and it's what it's all about, sharing. So if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. You know, click the like button, and share. And you know, if you're keen on more videos, subscribe. And so when I do more videos, it'll come up on your thing, and you'll be able to see them. But yeah, so that's the webbing. What I could probably quickly do is just I could show you it around my waist. I haven't obviously got everything packed back in yet, but just so that you can see it. Okay, and I won't do this up. I'll just slip it through the first part. Okay, but it fits on around like so. Okay, obviously, as I said, it's not all done up. Bring that up just a tad. Okay, so ammo pouch, correction, ammo pouch, water bottle and cups canteen, equipment, survival kit and first aid, emergency first aid kit. Over here is water bottle, cups canteen, and over here is the yo-yos, 2 yo-yos and wire with the camouflage paint. Okay, and probably the only thing that I don't have on here is sometimes I'd carry a spare couple of earplugs, and the earplugs would go in up here in this little pouch up here, 2 little of the foam earplugs up in here, just as backup earplugs, but I don't have any at the moment. And one other thing that I'd usually carry in the webbing as well, okay, is a emergency rations. Okay, so that's like, I don't know, a packet of noodles and, you know, or even a couple of packets of noodles or something, or a packet of noodles and a Moro bar, or a couple of chocolate bars, some lollies, and you know, some drink sachets. You know, not much, just enough to keep you going for another, I don't know, 24 hours or something like that. So 24-hour emergency rations. That's what I don't have in my webbing at the moment, which I should really chuck in. So hope, as I said, welcome back. Okay, so I figured out what I was doing wrong with the fire piston, just really quickly. Basically, this part of the fire piston, this part here, was stuck inside the cylinder. Okay, so basically how it works is, you have, on this particular one, we have a valve on it, okay, which I'm unscrewing now, okay, and that gets screwed into there, okay, and then what you do is you get a bit of char cloth, some char cloth here. If I can get some out. Here's some here. So we put some char cloth into there. Alright, and then what we do is we make sure that the gasket's on really strong, and that gasket, it's not looking too shit hot, to tell you the truth. Yeah, that's looking a little, that's better. Almost looked like it wasn't on properly. We want to tighten that up. Okay, and then we put this here in, and we thrust it in. No, nothing there. Try that again. I think I'm going to push it down this way. I'm going to take this off. I think this is getting in my way. Because you've got to get right down. Here we go. Got it. Hang on. Here we go. Where are we? Here you go. See that? Alright, so there's our ember. Okay, it's going out. It's gone out. But you could see the ember in there a minute ago. Sorry about that being zoomed in. But that's how we get an ember. I'll just see quickly if we can get that again. Got another one there, but in the way. Went out. Damn. Anyway, I got it a few times there, probably about 4 or 5 times, and it went out. But anyway, that's how it's done. Okay, so you get a little ember by the pressure of air, and you use that ember. You chuck that ember onto some more char cloth, burn it up, get it going better, and then you put it into your bundle of whatever, your bird's nest, and away you go. You start blowing on it to get a flame. So yeah, excellent piece of equipment. This one here does have a habit of coming unloose as you're using it, the actual lid on here. So I mean, it's optional to put a bit of I might actually put a bit of Loctite on here myself personally onto it, but no, it works fine. And as I said, this would be an absolute last resort to make fire, to get an ember, in my opinion. When you've got lighters and you've got steel and you've got, you know, magnesium and you've got whatever else. Whereas this would be a last resort, but you don't need. You can just burn this with whatever, bit of fluff or whatever to get it going. Obviously, char cloth works well, but you can use a lot of others. So do some research on this if you wish to, and I hope you've enjoyed. And I'll see you on the next video. Cheers. Bye bye.